kinds, hoarding trillions of dollars in profits in their accounts in overseas banks. Money that, were it returned to the United States, would be invested, would create jobs, fund research and development and innovation, create lots of jobs, millions of jobs. Apple, for example, hoarding more than $150 billion overseas. If it were a country, it'd be among the 60 richest countries in all the world. Now, you may think my thoughts a bit, well, far-fetched, perhaps. But I ask you to consider what I say when next you are baffled to explain the actions of so many of our leaders, whether they be president, businessman or woman, senator, you name it. So many of their decisions in Washington, D.C. may seem inexplicable to you. They are to me, certainly. Their motivation unfathomable against a template of traditional American interest and values and heritage, law, and governance itself. And there's little modesty in the goals of the supranationals. Consider billionaires Mark Zuckerberg and Michael Bloomberg, if you will. Facebook CEO Zuckerberg, the 16th richest person in the world, spending tens of millions of dollars lobbying for immigration reform, ostensibly to benefit the technology industry, but certainly not the American middle class or those who aspire to it. Bloomberg, a little richer than Zuckerberg and spends so much of his money, the former New York mayor throwing out tens of millions of his dollars pushing gun control. Groups such as the Clinton Foundation, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, run by the richest person in all the world, and one of the top donors to the Clinton Foundation, which indisputably does much, much good. But we need to better understand the relationships among many of our nation's elites that form the foundation of what is clearly a new world order. The supranationals have arrived, and it seems to me that among the many surprises...
One more time. He said...
...indisputably does much, much good. But we need to better understand the relationships among many of our nation's elites that form the foundation of what is clearly a new world order. The supranationals have arrived, and it seems to me that among the many surprises awaiting many Americans of all political persuasions is their looming realization that this is less likely to be the century of America, or China's century for that matter, and far, far more likely to be the century of the supranationals. The supranationals have become so powerful now, their exertions are often in plain view, and I believe the consequences of their actions will be far more evident with each passing year of this century, one that appears to certainly be the century of the supranationals. Now our quotation of the evening, and if I may, bring back from a long family history of the Clintons, a quotation from Hillary Clinton. It's from the Clintons' famous first joint appearance on 60 Minutes back in 1992, in which they went on air to rebut allegations of then-Governor Clinton's infidelity with Gennifer Flowers. Mrs. Clinton said, quote, "The American people are tired of liars and people who pretend to be something they're not." End quote. We're coming right back.